Not too long ago, I created a video unpacking 9 incredible apps that you cannot download via the Play Store. It turns out lots of people like the idea of finding and using apps Google might not want them using. And so I thought, let's go back to the drawing board and find some more. And so that's exactly what I've done. And in today's video, I'm presenting not 9, but 10 secret applications that Google don't want you downloading. You ready? Let's go. Now today, we're starting things off with F-Droid because for one, it's not available on the Play Store, but secondly, F-Droid is actually a third-party option for downloading applications, a lot of which are not available on the Play Store themselves. Now, as for design, that's certainly not the highlight feature of this application, and in reality, it's a pretty basic layout, but what the app lacks in look and appearance, it makes up for in functionality. You can scroll through a seemingly never-ending list of free and open source applications, and as soon as you find one you like, just tap on install. If you love checking out apps that might not be readily available on the Play Store, F-Droid is certainly the way to go. And so that brings us to NewPipe, a lightweight version of YouTube that unlocks a plethora of otherwise restricted features. And if you're not sure where to get it from, well, just grab it from F-Droid. Now, if you've heard of YouTube Vanced, another YouTube alternative not available on the Play Store, well, unlike that app, NewPipe doesn't aim to replicate the YouTube app design. In fact, it's fairly basic and simple looking, but it packs in just about as many features, including background playing, picture-in-picture mode, downloading for offline playback, and more than anything, the app is super lightweight and fast. There's a bunch of other features as well, but I'll let you dive in and experiment yourself. Now, Flappy Bird is an app that I'm sure needs very little introduction, but in case you were only just born in the last 5 years, then let me give it a quick history lesson. So Flappy Bird is a simple arcade-style game that took the world by storm back in 2013. But after going viral to an insane level, the developer, who was supposedly raking in around $50,000 per day at the app's height, he simply took the game offline. He claimed he didn't like the attention or that he'd created a game that was as addictive as Flappy Bird was. Now, there are emulated versions of this app that are available to download on the Play Store, but if you want the original, then sideloading it is the one and only way to go. And I'm surprised at just how addictive this app still is. Now, I'm not really too sure why HiShoot2i is not available on the Play Store, but the fact of the matter is that it isn't. So aside from the pretty random name, if you haven't heard of HiShoot2i, it is essentially a mock-up generator that helps to make screenshots look a lot nicer. If you've ever seen those Instagram pages that only showcase home screen setups, well, most of them are probably using HiShoot2i. The app works off third-party templates that you download, and most of the ones I can find are only available through the HiShoot2i Telegram channel, so I'll also leave a link to that below. It feels a bit like the Substratum theming engine, except for mockups, but the end results do look pretty fantastic. Now, if you're someone who takes a lot of screenshots, then chances are you're a fan of customizing your home screen. And if that's an accurate description of you, then the ported super wallpapers from Xiaomi are a fantastic way to really soup up an otherwise dull looking home screen. Each wallpaper is a separate APK file that you download via the mega file hosting site. And once you install them, they actually appear within your stock wallpaper chooser. The wallpapers are all animated and respond to your touches and swipes. And beyond that, they're all visually stunning to look at as well. Now, did you know that on top of the apps that Google just blatantly blocks from the Play Store altogether, the country you live in might also dictate what apps are or aren't available to you? For example, I just cannot download the Hulu app because it's not available in Australia. And so that's where today's video sponsor, Surfshark, comes in. Surfshark is a VPN application that allows you to securely connect to your favorite apps and websites, no matter where you are in the world. And as far as I'm aware, Surfshark is the most affordable way to do this. It's just over $2 a month for as many devices as you want. And because you can essentially pick and choose the location you want your device to come from, that means I can pick the US and download US exclusive applications. So along with Hulu, this also includes Starz, Pandora Music, and even HBO Max, which means I can stream the latest Zack Snyder cut of Justice League in all of its 4-hour glory. Just make sure that you create a new Play Store account before attempting to download these restricted apps, as otherwise they still won't show up. So check the link down in the description and use the code SAMBECKMAN to get 83% off the monthly price and an extra 3 months for free. They even have a 30-day money-back guarantee if you don't love the app, so there's really no reason not to try it out. Okay, so at the start of the video, we looked at F-Droid, but if that doesn't do it for you for whatever reason, then an alternate third-party app store is APKPure. Now, unlike F-Droid, APKPure is essentially a full-on Play Store replacement, as any mainstream app can be found on their platform. But what makes it a viable alternative to the Play Store is that you can also download older versions of applications. So for example, let's say you hate the Instagram Reels feature. Well, uninstall the latest version, then use APKPure to find the version that came before that update, install it, and there you go. It's actually a pretty handy feature to have easy access to, so it could be worth a shot. Now, speaking of Instagram, Barista is actually a third-party Instagram client that packs in a few additional handy features. Firstly, you don't need to have an Instagram account to use and browse public profiles and hashtags on the platform, but you can of course also log in to unlock a few additional features. You can pause and even download stories. You can customize the theme and layout of the app. Plus, there's a bunch of other features as well. And although the design and feel is not quite as nice or as fluid as the stock app itself, it's still got enough added functionality to make it a worthwhile download. All right, vector camera is probably the most random app on this list, and who knows why it's not allowed on the Play Store, but it's pretty cool at the same time and can certainly make for some very creative and unique looking images. So with the app installed, you'll notice that like a lot of the apps on this list, it has a pretty basic design. But tap the color palette icon down here and you'll be greeted with 34 very unique overlays that will transform your normal looking images and videos into high-tech abstract ones. You can even create custom overlays if you want. And whilst the end results are very distinct and probably don't have many real-world use cases, I still think it's a lot of fun to see a Matrix version of yourself. Autodark, as the name suggests, is an app that allows you to maximize your phone's dark theme settings. Now these days, most phones do allow scheduling of the system-wide dark theme, but what's cool is that with Autodark, you can also have your phone's theme change based on the sunset and sunrise, and you can even set it up so that your phone's wallpaper will change when the theme changes as well. It's actually a very similar app to the Auto Dark Theme application I've featured on my channel in the past, but that one doesn't seem to be as reliable on Android 11, so this is a pretty great alternative. It does require permissions to be granted via ADB or root access, so keep that in mind when getting things set up. Now, whilst of course you can update most of your apps via the Google Play Store, what about all of these newly downloaded apps that you can't download on the Play Store? Well, APK Update is the solution. It is an open source application that will find updates for all of the apps installed on your phone, regardless of whether they were downloaded via the Play Store or not. A lot of apps can actually be updated directly within the app, which is kind of cool, but for any apps that can't, you'll simply be redirected to a browser where you can download the new version and go from there. It's probably one of the bigger downsides of having apps installed on your phone that aren't found on the Play Store, and so this is a handy solution to ensure that you're running the latest versions of all of these apps. And so there it is, another 10 applications not available on the Play Store for you to try out. As with all of these videos, I'm always after new app suggestions, so if you have any apps that also can't be found on the Play Store, let us all know down in the comments below and I'll try and put together a third episode in the near future. If you enjoyed this video, then a sub would be superb, and don't forget to follow me over on Instagram and Twitter for access to promo codes for paid apps that I release each month. Aside from that, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you later.